Hi, this is Jim with Capitella Screen Fencing and Historical Fencing in Oregon. And today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Barbasetti's Parries, in particular the extended parry. This is how we typically make these in the Redelian system, but in Barbasetti it's no exception. And they're a little different than what people are used to sometimes. If you've done modern saber or some of the other historical systems of saber and broadsword, you're used to parrying with your elbow much more bent, right? So you think about like mid-century saber, this is my third. What does third look like for Del Frate? It's like this. It's even more exaggerated in some cases if you look at like Masiello's plates. But it's an extended guard, right? I'm keeping my arm out. And there are certain consequences of fencing this way. On the one hand, as Barbasetti says, it makes for a quicker return because my hand's closer. That's true. But it also changes the type of return that you make, type of riposte. And my student today, who's a pretty good advanced saber fencer, said, my problem with this is I don't know how to make a direct cut. If I parry first out here, how do I, get there quickly? Well, you can still get there quickly, but you're not going to use a direct cut to do it. Same for second, same for third. You're too far away. You might hit the arm, you might get lucky, but without a big lunge, which from that distance is pretty dangerous because it gives them a tempo to hit you back or counter, it's not very feasible. If you think back to what you usually learn first in any Redelian system, you learn the Molinelli, right? They're the foundation for everything we do. And here's an example of why. How do I get off the steel? My arm is out here. So if I'm in fourth, for example, and I've parried you out here, I can't easily get to your cheek. You're too far away. But what I can do is bring this up and down and come under. I might lunge that, I might step into it. That's going to depend on a couple different factors. I may even step slightly to the inside as I do that, give myself a bit more space. But I'm going to use a Molinelli or a Molinello instead of a direct cut, or a coupe as Del Frate would call them. It's not that they don't have their place, they do. But if you're trying to work with the extended parries, they're not going to work super well for you. So you need to really work on those Molinelli as well. And they work from every line. Today in the video I'm going to show you next, Juliet and I worked mostly from first. We started in second, moved to first. And we did two different ways of doing this. The first was I had her attack with a feint to the inside line by thrust. Depending on what you're doing, if your guard is more collapsed, you might make that a deeper feint. Like, I'm going to hit you in the chest. So that's what she does. I parry. She makes a Molinello ristretto or a restricted Molinello, which is tighter in its arc, hits me in the arm, and then lunges the point into my chest. So she gets to hit me twice, which is kind of nice. Then we change it. So then I'm in extended guard, and I don't use fourth, I use first. And you'll notice in the video how the first couple shots, she hits my guard. And I'm using the swordsmithy sabers that my school I belong to in Prague uses Barbasetti military saber since 1895. And the swordsmithy sabers are great for this, and they're built along very late 19th century lines. So the guard's a little bit wider than this one, but she hits it every time, those first 2 or 3 shots, which is great for me, not so great for her. So how does she change it? Well, instead of feinting to the deep target, she feints to my hand. Because here I am in second. What's open? Well, I kind of make an invitation here. She goes for it. So when I parry first, she's got to drop and make that a little bit tighter. So she's targeting my forearm, but she has to orient the blade in such a way that it will actually land and not just hit the guard. This is the advantage I have with that extended guard. I've tightened that circle. So she's got to maneuver in order to get around that. And she does. And things change. She's able to pop me in the arm, but then if she wants to thrust, it's going to be my face. Not great for me, but great for her. These are some of the ways in which using these extended guards change. Anyway, watch the video. We're both really tired at this point, so it's probably not our best work, but I think it'll illustrate the point, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.
No, I did not. Okay, I think I'm
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, mine are still at Okay, so we'll start with the big one. Okay. So you're going to feint to the inside. Boom, thrust. Do it again. Good. All right, now we'll do it with the extended one.
Okay.
See you touch this a little bit.
Okay, so.
Good.
Didn't quite
So
get the
yeah, it's going to
thrust
get
there.
like kind of right in the middle of the arm. So here.
Okay, so.
Perfect. Yeah. Oop. Okay, so let's try this from first too.
Okay.
So we'll do it deep and then extend. Okay, so if you move that just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do one more of those. Okay. And then let's do it with the extended. So both in second, take to the hand.
Try again.
Yeah. Okay, so top, yeah.
Hitting your bell.
Yeah. So what's
Again.
happening? You've got your arms shaking it.
Ah.
So you kind of keep it, go back and work.
Okay.
Here,
Yeah.
right? Here.
Huh.
So make sure you're using that. for all the
Okay.
way around.
My arm is tired.
Yeah, mine too. There.
Is that, ah. Yeah.
Right? So as soon as I bite, boom.
Yeah. Whew.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.